Well, hey guys, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at the new release of SD9 from Walthers. This is a Walthers Proto locomotive, and we've got Milwaukee Road and Nickel Plate Road to take a look at. There's the item numbers right there in the box if you're looking for these two locomotives. Let's get started on the review right now. We're going to take a peek at the Milwaukee Road scheme first. No offense to you Nickel Plate Road fans, but Milwaukee Road scheme's a little more vibrant. And unboxing this, you'll see that there's lots of paperwork in the back, including warranty instructions and Walthers Proto manual of sorts with exploded parts diagram, lubrication and cleaning, how to convert to DCC if you got the DC model, etc. And ESU LOKSound pamphlet, which goes over the functions of the LOKSound decoder. In this case, 11 functions are listed and CVs are listed to adjust some sounds. Locomotive itself is cradled in a foam container, and behind there's these little holes where you can push. That's the easiest way to get the locomotive out. Still a tight squeeze, but tight packaging usually results in little to no damage from all the journey that the locomotives have to take. Slide it out of the sleeve here. In the box, some accessory parts that you can apply yourself. A little plastic baggie. And then the locomotive itself comes out, and the first thing kind of sticks out on these are the spark arresters there on the top. We'll go ahead and get the foam protection out and take a closer look at this locomotive. Alright, taking a look at the front of the locomotive first. Black doesn't show up too well on my videos, so we'll zoom in a little more to try to make up for some of that. Right from the top there's grab irons, LED lights, that looks like classification lights as well, or signal lights, whatever you want to call them, number boards. Crew access ladder on each side of the nose here. And this is the front if you're curious which way this locomotive runs generally. Here in this area is a walkway with safety tread. The stanchions are good. Proto Max couplers from Walthers brand are installed on this. Got a drop step and some accessory hoses, MU hoses behind this area here, tucked away behind, and a coupler cut lever that kind of blends in with the black here can be seen. So we turn, see all the compartment detail. You see SD9, that's clear. Milwaukee Road, clear. Nice print on this. Got the little bay window going on for the cab here. And windshield wipers, a little hard to tell, but there are windshield wipers installed. All this sea of black kind of absorbs a lot of details, and there are quite a few details. Speaking of, down below there's decent truck detail, and there's some plumbing going to these air reservoirs here right in front of the fuel tank. I think they're air reservoirs, you can correct me if I'm wrong, slightly out of my era. You have a horn facing in each direction, single horn. The spark arresters back here, which are kind of a prominent spotting feature of this locomotive. Winterization hatch right here, and then the trio of radiator fans on the back. That's about it on the detail up top. I did forget to mention the firecracker antenna right there. On the way back to the rear, more of the same details that we talked about on the front, including those dual ladders for crew access again. And you can see more of the detail on each side of the fan grills, radiator fan grills up top here. And there's a good look at the compartment depth. That's pretty good. And more of what we've already mentioned in terms of highly detailed trucks. And the fuel tank. So that's it for the 360 on this. Do a quick Vanna White on nickel plate road. Show you a couple differences and we'll get into operation. All right, taking a quick look at the nickel plate. A little styrofoamy thing going on there, but with the nickel plate there's different window configuration and different roof configuration on this as well. And some differences that are based on the road, which Walthers actually does, versus just putting out a bunch of, you know, one size fits all locomotives. There's a different lighting package on the front here. As you see, there are two sets of lights here, a drop step for the coupler, again with the Proto Max couplers, but just a single ladder on this other side here for access. A little easier to see the crew figures installed, which is on the nickel plate and the Milwaukee Road. So the Milwaukee Road just has a really small window, so it's easier to see here, but there's those guys on both sides. Different roof configuration like I talked about, just regular exhaust here and here, horn face in two different directions, but you've got a 2-chime there and just a single horn there. And the radiator section is also different. There's no winterization hatch on this model, and 4 radiator fans are exposed. Back, some more features similar to the ones we talked about on the front. Dual ladder though. And that is the other side. So just kind of a quick roundabout for you of the nickel plate road version of this SD9. Alright, we're going to fire the locomotive up. So as you can see, the lighting package up front, I just hit F8 to start it up and F5 to show you the Mars light or whatever you want to call it there on the nose. Bell. F1. Two is horn. Somewhat playable there. F3 is coupler. Dynamic brake for 4, which these aren't equipped to my knowledge. F5 is that light we talked about. F6 is ditch lights, which they don't have, but these are number boards and they light up nicely. Really great looking number boards there. F7, manual compressor. F9 is drive hold. F10 is independent brake, and F11 is another set of lights, which doesn't appear to light up on this one. So maybe not utilized. Looks like there's little bulbs up there for the classification lights, but for the marker lights, but I can't figure out how to operate those. I'll go ahead and move this thing now. Just 1 speed step. Not even broken in, and it's very smooth. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Going in reverse here. 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Alright, here is the Milwaukee Road. Just wanted to show you the bell and horn, how they changed that out as well, based on road. So those are the defaults for both Milwaukee Road and Nickel Plate Road. Pull test time. It's pulling at slowly keeps increasing, but it looks like it's stabilizing at 2.8 ounces, which is close to 45 pieces of HO scale rolling stock. Coupler height check on the rear. Looks to be on point. And on the front, also dead on, so good NMRA compliance there, which is rare for coupler height. Speaking of NMRA compliance, we'll check the wheel sets right here on camera, which I rarely do anymore just for the essence of time, but might as well check them out. Back 3, or front 3 I should say, are good. And these are also good. So all NMRA compliance is met, which is rare for a locomotive. All right, we're going to weigh the locomotive here. I don't know how well you can see that in your view, but that is 15.45 ounces. 435 grams, 0.435 or 0.430 kilograms, and 0.95 pounds, so almost a pound there. Keeps fluctuating weight a little bit, but you get the point. So that's pretty hefty for such a short locomotive at almost a pound. So that's going to wrap up our review of the Walthers SD9s and the Walthers Proto line. Actually a nearly flawless locomotive. I really couldn't find anything wrong. There was no parts that were broken off. The stanchions, which we really didn't talk about on the 360, are very straight, but thin enough to be prototypical. Paint's applied well. The NMRA compliance was all met, so very rarely do we have a set of locomotives, let alone one locomotive, that meets all those. Usually we have something to pick about. Nothing really here to pick about, even a smooth drive. With that said, I don't have much rolling stock out as I'm packing it all up, preparing for the move, so we'll just pull nothing. We'll pull some air and show you these locomotives in a run by themselves. We'll see you next time right here on my channel. Take care.